Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. I did the Levine protocol and it was the best decision I ever made. I cannot speak more highly of it. I was a yoga, Pilates, walking woman before I got diagnosed with POTS, and the stubborn part of my personality said that I could keep going with all of these things, even with this diagnosis. And it took me a really long time to recognize that trying to commit to the level of exercise that I was doing prior to a diagnosis was actually more harmful to my healing than it was helpful. When I discovered the Levine protocol, it was, I believe I found it through a creator on TikTok, and then I went on Google and found it. I understood the concept that there was this intentional flaring of your nervous system through set exercises followed by break periods. And honestly, I thought it was going to be really easy. I kind of looked at it and said, all right, you want me to do a stationary bike for 2 months? Like, I'll be bored out of my mind, but okay. And I was very humbled when I got onto the bike and I couldn't make it through the first workout entirely because the stress that it was putting on my physical body was so much that I had to go take a rest. Now, there is a difference between your physical body is going through stress or I'm putting my physical body through stress. And what I noticed is that when I tried to do my yoga practices or Pilates or even just taking a walk, that was me putting myself in a really stressful situation out of stubbornness and saying, like, I refuse to give up on this. Like, I can do this. Putting your body in an intentional stress period with the protocol was a very different experience because the recovery time felt different. When I would go and do yoga or take a walk, if I pushed my body too far, it would take me nearly 4 days to recover. With the Levine protocol, yes, I needed to rest afterwards, but after I think the first or second month, the rest periods shortened. I didn't need 4 hours to recover. I needed 40 minutes to recover, and now I don't even need that much time. But the thing is, you have to do the protocol, and I'm saying this more to my past self than I am to anybody here. You have to do the protocol the way that it is intended. When I started doing it, I did not read all of the directions. I was like, you're telling me to get on a bike for 20 minutes? Okay. I did not read anything having to do with like, your heart rate has to hit this point. This is your period of rest. This is your period of escalation. And I will tell you that that was a mistake. So if you are going to do it, do yourself the favor, sit down and read all of the instructions and do the protocol as it's intended. The moment that I started doing that, my endurance improved, my recovery times improved, I felt stronger, I felt better, my lung capacity got better. Everything just started improving to a degree that now I'm actually able to do yoga again. I am able to venture into certain Pilates moves. Now I have jugular vein compression, so I have to take that into consideration, but there is a lot more things that I can do. I'm able to go on my long walks again and not have super difficult rebound periods. And that is entirely because of the protocol. So much so that I'm actually considering doing it again, just as kind of like a update. So that way my body's strength and endurance stay at the level that they were when I finished it originally. The other thing that I will say is if you are somebody who is navigating a POTS diagnosis or dysautonomia, finding resources that work for you might look really different from the resources that you used to use. And it's just because our bodies work differently now. It doesn't mean that they can't go back to their original states. But in my case, it was highly beneficial to pull back from my original practices and basically do like a hard reset on my body and how it worked in order to then get back to my practices and have them be more fulfilling and less detrimental to my overall health.